Welcome back to Real Estate Mindset. Today's video is going to be absolutely bonkers. Now, the data is in, and my man, a fellow YouTuber, ClearTax Value, just put out a video about the housing market titled Housing Market Update. Housing Market Crash is just clickbait. So what I'm going to do, you guys, is I'm going to listen to a few parts of his videos, and I'm going to explain to you why ClearTax Value is wrong about what they're saying. Now, make no mistake, overall, you guys, I absolutely love that YouTuber. He's more of an accountant though, right? Understanding taxes, but I felt it was like really important to basically make a video to explain, what he was talking about and why what he's talking about is not accurate. And again, you guys, I'm not trying to troll him. I'm not trying to beat anyone up, but I think it's especially important that we call out, especially people, at the top and, let them know like, hey, what you're talking about is not accurate. There's hundreds of thousands of people that listen to this man. I guess what I really want to do, guys, is essentially bring up some data. I'm going to bring up a video. We're going to listen to what he's saying, and then I'm going to present you guys with the actual data, and I want you guys to make up your own mind. But remember, I'm not your financial advisor, and remember, I'm not trolling this guy. I'm simply pointing out that a lot of people don't have all of the data and should probably not draw conclusions as bold as he is, and on top of the conclusions being wrong, being derogatory to people that are being cautious. So it kind of took me back because I really love this man. But again, he's saying that the housing market crash is just clickbait. I'm going to let you guys decide that. But again, before I begin, like this video, please subscribe if you haven't already. Shoot me a comment below, maybe something funny, maybe something educational, but shoot me a comment below, hit notifications and share this video. But let's get started with taking a listen to his video now.
The housing markets. Will there be a real estate crash? So I just want to say this. I refuse to clickbait because I understand that the people that are watching this video, they're actually relying on this information. So if I get less views because I do not clickbait, then honestly, that's fine with me. So be it. I'm not going to hurt innocent people by clickbaiting because I understand that behind every view is an actual person.
So when I first listened to that, I understand what point he's trying to make, but who would the viewer be? A robot? Demon? Bot? I mean, so I do understand what he's saying about clickbait, but the thing is, guys, is we don't make the rules. So what I want to show you real quick, and then I'm going to go to his channel just to see if he actually has ever done any clickbait. I think you guys are going to be surprised. But first, allow me the opportunity to explain to you guys how thumbnails work. Now, when it comes to clickbait, here's the thing you don't want to do. You don't want to lie. Right? You don't want to lie. Clickbait is, is a picture to sensationalize the topic of the conversation. And what that's called as far as the analytics is impressions. Now, the way that YouTube determines whether or not something is clickbait is impressions versus retention, view retention or view duration. As long as your view duration is, probably above 30, 40, 50%, essentially that means that the people that are watching your video expect the content that they're reviewing. So, I hear, oh, the clickbait, but the reality is everyone needs to come up with a picture so that people click on their video. This whole clickbait thing it's outrageous to me because the fact of the matter is we're talking about the housing market. 18% of the economy. You know what I'm saying? Why are we talking about clickbait here? And I know I'm doing it myself. Shame on me, but let me real quick show you impressions and view duration. Okay, guys, so here's my analytics on one of my housing market update videos. And you can see here, this is impressions. So impressions means that, how many people are clicking your video that actually see it. So the higher your impressions, the better you do. Normally my impressions are at 12 to 13%. As the video, as time continues, obviously the impressions go down. But what I want to explain to you guys is, YouTube is actually fighting against content creators that are truly doing false clickbait, right? And again, the way that they determine that is called view duration. So here's what view duration looks like, you guys. So my view duration on this video was 6 minutes and 49 seconds. That's a lot. That's a long time for the average viewer to view it. But essentially what that means is that's a view duration of 48.8%. And you guys, that's really good for having over 20,000 views. And for this video being out so long, having a 48.8% view duration means that it's not false clickbait. Is it sensationalized? Yeah. I'm a content creator, right? But I just wanted to make that differential, you guys. That is how YouTube works. We don't make the rules. So I get really surprised when content creators start knocking people, about thumbnails, unless they're lying in the video. If they're lying in the video, I do understand.
You are not just a number to me. I'm here to help by providing good information. So I want to show you this. Let me show you what I'm talking about. This is a classic example of clickbaiting. Graham Stephan, home prices are going to crash 50%. Just take a look at the thumbnail. The house is literally on fire, burning down. So it looks like Graham Stephan barely escaped the fire, made it out of the burning house. Thank God for his life. He fell down onto the curb in sheer exhaustion, and then he picked up a sign.
All right, guys, I'll admit that was pretty funny. But what I really want to do, just to be completely fair, and remember, I actually like this guy, but I think he's in the wrong lane right now, because I'm going to show you guys the data he's using. But first, what I want to see is he using any clickbait? Because he's going on and on about Graham Stephan. So let me show you what I found now. All right, so by his own definition, I have found a clickbait thumbnail that he made 2 months ago. Again, you guys, I don't care. I'm just wondering why he's going off on people for something that he's doing himself, even though I will admit, he usually doesn't. Usually it's just him and a white background. That's fine. But look at this thumbnail that he made 2 months ago. So when I first look at this thumbnail, I'm thinking, oh, is he interviewing Tucker Carlson? Oh my God, is diesel fuel running out in November? Oh my God, I need to watch this or I'm not going to be able to make it to work because there's going to be no gas. I need to watch this right away because he's going to interview Tucker Carlson. It is what it is. That's my impression. I'm just being honest with you guys. Let's hop back into the video.
During the last housing market crash, which was a little bit more than a decade ago, home prices fell by 33%. At that time, 2.9 million properties were foreclosed on in 2010 alone. That caused a flood of inventory on the market, which crashed home prices by 33%. So take a look at today. We're supposed to have approximately 100,000 foreclosures in 2022. That's far from 2.9 million. Let me ask you a question. Do you know how bad the situation would have to get for home prices to fall 50%?
So here's my gripe here, you guys, and I've been hearing that objection for the last 6 months. The fact of the matter is yes, last time we had a horrible, massive foreclosure crisis, but we also had hyper inventory from new home builders, right? And not only that, remember back then, to not acknowledge this is it's pretty crazy to me, but remember back then, the Fed also, well, the government actually, Congress, Senate, they destroyed demand in the form of the Dodd-Frank Wall Street Reform Act. They destroyed demand. They essentially changed all of the guidelines almost overnight for residential mortgage lending. So there was many reasons, you guys, that there was a collapse last time. And again, it's not just because of foreclosures. Another big reason was the awful loans. There were so many loans. And just because, someone doesn't go into foreclosure doesn't mean they're not going to go into a short sale. So, I do agree with him that, the foreclosures last time was a catalyst for price decline. But the reality is there was many other things, not just foreclosure. And we're not saying in order for the market to crash, it has to go down 50%. I view narratives like this as dangerous, as negligent. You have to look at the entire picture. And I also want to point out, guys, that we actually are, according to Redfin, so I'm citing my sources, according to Redfin, we're already down almost 10% on median sales price as a national average with historical low foreclosure. How can you explain that, right? I'm just saying, you guys, let's jump back in.
No, I'm just going to say it. We are not crashing 50%, and we're not going to have the greatest housing market crash of our generation. Now, let me give you the stats, and then I'll give you future predictions. But I want you to keep this in mind. Because, okay, if you don't take this into consideration, then your whole perception of the situation will be distorted. In real estate, there is seasonality. So generally speaking, homes will sell for a higher price in May, June, July, and August. During peak real estate season, yes, there is more inventory. However, there's also more competition. The slower months of the year are October, November, and December. Okay, with that being said, I want you to keep that in mind.
So here's the thing with this argument, guys, and I've heard this argument from a lot of people because I respond to my comments all the time. And I think that, an opposing view actually keeps us all sharp, especially if we take that person seriously and they're talking to us with respect. Why wouldn't we want to have a conversation? But my thing here, guys, is The way that I'm taking this is he's saying that we're going through normal seasonal decline, okay? Which we are. We are going through the normal seasonal decline, right? But he fails, like so many other people, to acknowledge quantitative tightening, right? That's not normal, okay? Interest rates have never doubled in 1 year. Unaffordability right now, you guys, is the worst it's been since the 1980s. Why do people keep leaving quantitative tightening out when all they say is just seasonal trends we're seeing here? Okay. I'm going to go more to this as the video goes on, you guys, but let me show you this. Okay, we're going to talk about seasonal price decline. Now, remember, he said that normally house values go up between May and August. Now, this is the Redfin median sales price nationwide average for all metro areas they track. Now, I just want to point out that this is June 19th, okay? So again, he's saying they go up until August, okay, seasonally, right? So seasonally, they go up until August, but look at guys, we actually started going down mid-June a lot. Look at this, all the way into August. It actually didn't even start going up till August, right? But the thing is, guys, you know, by his own rationale, what we're seeing there is not seasonal. So because it's not seasonal, we have to ask ourselves, then why is it happening? And I don't think that's hard to answer. Quantitative tightening, right? Jerome Powell, right? Everyone knows, right? Fighting inflation, right? Overvaluation. You know what I'm talking about? That's why. But look at you guys. It actually started going down despite what he's saying. June, right? The middle of June. Look at this. It went down from median sales price of $390,000 in June 19th. Now the average median sales price is $352,000. So there's no guessing here. This is data that we have right now that is showing that these trends are not seasonal. And how could they be with quantitative tightening?
Also, I'm making this video in late December. That's because November data, that gets reported in late December. So this November data, it's the most updated information at this time. So now take a look at this. You are looking at a 3-year chart of home prices. The median sale price on a home as of November is $393,756. This is down 8.5% from its peak 6 months ago in May. But you have to remember what I told you about seasonality. Home prices are naturally lower in November. That's important because when you compare November of this year to November of last year, home prices are up 2.6%. So is this the greatest housing market crash of our generation? That's for you to decide. However, the fact is that home prices are up year over year.
Again, you guys, I'm not trying to troll him. I know that I've changed my shirt, but maybe I spilled some coffee on myself, right? The thing is, guys, really radical. What he's saying is his home prices are still up year over year. So what I'm going to do is, this took me about 2 minutes. I'm going to have everything linked in this video. I went again to Redfin, and I'm going to show you guys all of the metro areas that are actually on the year over year price decline list, because the reality is, you guys, and again, according to Redfin, okay, the most up-to-date data I can get week to week data. I don't have to wait 2 months. I get week to week data. You guys, 38% of the top metro areas are on the year over year price decline list. How do you leave that out of a video like this talking about clickbait? And another thing, you guys, that is clickbait. Saying that real estate crash is just clickbait is clickbait. And I'm okay with it. I'm just saying, what I'm not okay with is like clickbait that's not true. And honestly, I just don't think this is true. Take a look at the year over year price decline list now. Okay, guys, again, this is the most recent report. This came out a couple days ago. So again, if you want the most recent stuff, that's, again, I always say this, that's why I'm going to Redfin. So I don't, so that I'm not behind the curve. If I'm looking at data that's 2 months old and making assumptions, and I really don't know what's going on. So I have to look at all of the data. Unfortunately, it's a lot. And I look at it as regularly as possible. Now here's the list, you guys. Look at this. 19, despite what he's saying, 19 of the 50 most populous U.S. metro areas are on the year-over-year price decline list. This is especially important, guys, because remember, at the beginning of 2022, we had double-digit equity growth in most metro areas. So in order to be on this list, you have to have lost all of that, right? So look at this. San Francisco is down 10.4%. But remember, if you bought at the peak, you're down a lot more than that because San Francisco lost all of its gains from this year. So again, what's up with the lack of caution? You could see Sacramento down 6%, San Jose down 5.6%, Los Angeles down 5.4%, Detroit 4.6%, Oakland 4.4%, and then Seattle. You guys remember the Dave Ramsey video? He said only Seattle's down. right? Only Seattle's down. No, only Seattle is not down, and it's not down the most, right? Austin, right? Austin is in bad shape because Austin went up a lot in 2022 as well. But you can see here's Pittsburgh, there's Austin, there's New York is on there. Phoenix made the list, Boston, Anaheim, Chicago, Riverside, Washington, San Diego, Portland, and Norwalk. And there's been many other cities and metro areas on this list throughout there, like Buffalo, New Orleans, Honolulu, right? There have been cities on and off this list, but you guys, there's no need to guess. There's no need to make assumptions. There's no need to say, oh, if there's no foreclosures, there's no crash, because we see it happening right now.
Showing in the data. Take a look at this 3-year chart. This is the number of homes sold each month. It's fallen by 35.8% this November compared to last November. This is a result of higher interest rates. Okay, so there's less people looking to buy a home right now. So there's less demand, which pushes prices.
I'm really sorry. I'm pausing this, guys. You know what I just noticed? He's using Redfin data. He's using Redfin data. What? Why is he using the old data for Redfin? This video is like 7 days old. I don't understand. Like, I'm using Redfin data too, but I'm using like all of the data, the most recent data. Could be wrong. Let's finish hearing what he has to say.
Down. However, you have to keep in mind that there are also less sellers. That means less supply, which pushes prices up. So that's why we're not seeing a housing market crash.
Okay, so this argument is the inventory argument. But again, you guys, I'm going to just go on record right now. We're already seeing a crash. The crash has to start somewhere. It happened in most metro areas in June. So, I mean, the crash has already started. I guess really what the question is will we have a soft landing, right? Will the Fed pivot soon enough to where not everything is broken, right? To me, that's the real question. But I also want to point out a missing piece of his equation, which is if there are less people selling, then we will have less inventory. That stands to reason. But I would have appreciated also knowing the fact that 75% of people that sell their house purchase a new one. So if there's less people selling their house, there's less need for as much inventory. But let me show you the months of supply right now, which takes into consideration demand. And let's see if inventory went up compared to the last 2 years. Take a look. Okay, so here's the months of supply available. And again, you guys, this is what I want you guys to watch because it takes into account like more factors so we can get a better idea of what's going on. But we are well over 2021 and 2020 levels, actually well over that. So it's fair to say that obviously, as you guys can see right here, inventory has been going up. Now look at this, okay? Here's my concern. Look at recently. Now, there's a couple things that I see here. So I wanted inventory to keep skyrocketing up for obvious reasons, right? But recently it has been going down, still way above 2020 and 2021 levels. Just want to make that point, but it has been going down. I think that's 2 reasons. One, seasonal. Okay, there is validity to the seasonal trends, but also interest rates. They're not at 7.25% anymore. They're almost a full percent lower. And that's why we're seeing that. So hopefully that doesn't keep crashing down and we have to start the entire resetting process all over again because that's not what we want to see. But I did want to show you, despite no foreclosures, despite that, we don't have hyper supply, prices are going down. All right, guys. So in conclusion, my point is you have to be very, very careful on who you're listening to. A lot of people are only going to hold on to a certain piece of the puzzle that fits their narrative. And you guys, I know that I have my own opinions and my own views of things. And again, that's why I'm doing my live Q&As, right? I want to be held accountable, but I'm also providing you the data. And I'm also, confronting haters. So I think that the more transparent we are as content creators, I think that there's more value. I don't think that we, should be going after, the number 1 or number 2 person because they have a thumbnail that you don't like. I think that by doing so, it makes it appear that you have thin skin, right? And if you're on YouTube, I know that you don't have thin skin. So I think it's just a tactic to get more views, guys. That's why I think he did it. I was a little bit taken back again because I watched that man. I love that guy. I love his attitude. I love how clean he is. But I was extremely, extremely taken off by the fact that he was not using all of the data, even though he was still using Redfin. And then the whole thumbnail thing and, I care about people, so I won't do it. But the thing is, guys, I can reverse that on him. I would be like, hey, if you really care about people, understand that the better your thumbnail, the bigger reach it is. And he also says, well, I don't care about views. Well, you should. If you're really helping people, you should care about how many views you're getting because you should want to help more people. And that's my only point, you guys. I absolutely love some of the videos he does, guys. Again, I wanted to take this as an opportunity to confront some of the objections and talk about it. And other than that, guys, I really hope you guys got some value, insights, and perspective. And if you're out there investing in real estate, you know I wish you luck, and I hope you win.